Tommy Sheridan.
Hi. Hi. Thank you. Thank you, brothers and sisters, delegates and friends. I think it's important that we recognise the vital necessity of this motion. This motion goes to the very heart, I think, of our shared vision for a new and an independent Scotland. Fuel poverty is nothing new. I graduated from Stirling University way back in 1985. Some of you weren't born, that's how old I am. But in 1985, in the latter part of that year, I started a job with something else that some of you won't remember. It was called Strathclyde Regional Council. And they had a government job programme at that time. And I was taken on as a field supervisor in the hypothermia programme. The hypothermia programme. 1985. And our job as a supervisor, I had a team of 6 workers. We worked out at the Salvation Army Building in Pollock Shaws, and our job was to use the electoral register to identify, first of all, pensioner households, and then we were to go and visit them, tap the door, and physically give them advice with a wee package, with a newspaper, about how to avoid hypothermia. That was our job, to explain to them about the use of their fuel, whether it was gas or electricity. To explain to them how to go to bed at night, that they should wear socks and maybe a woolly hat. And we also had these wee special thermometers, wee blue thermometers that we gave them out, and we suggested they put them in their fridge, and if the red ever goes into the blue, then they're in trouble. Brothers and sisters, in the course of that job, I got to meet and discuss with people who, in many respects, helped to shape my future life, because I met pensioners. Many of them had been veterans. Many of them had fought in the Second World War against fascism, and they thought they were coming back to a new society, and now they found themselves struggling to heat their homes. That made me a socialist. That made me somebody who believed that something as essential as electricity and gas should not be privately owned, it should be publicly owned. It made me believe that our country was being misrun, because I couldn't believe all of the publicity about Scotland being rich in oil, Scotland being a nation that had an energy abundance, and my job was to give pensioners advice about how to avoid hypothermia. That was 1985. In 2022, the scourge of fuel poverty is back with a vengeance. It never went away. It's always been there. It's just getting worse. Brothers and sisters, supporting this motion and building this party is part and parcel of the process of not just freeing Scotland, but in eradicating the type of poverty which crushes the spirit, crushes the soul, removes the opportunities for our young people, and allows our older generation to die with broken hearts. Brothers and sisters, let's renew our energies. Let's say loud and clear that Alba is not just for independence because we're going to change the flags that fly from municipal buildings. We have our independence because we're going to change the lives that people live. We're going to improve. We're going to improve, brothers and sisters. We are going to release the opportunities that we have in it within Scotland. We have these resources, they're ours. We don't want them to be paying private dividends to private owners of oil, of gas, of electricity, of water. We want those resources part of the national wealth of Scotland. That's what this motion is all about. Please support it. Thanks very much.
Superb, as ever.